So you make handmade goods and you've been thinking about getting your goods into retail shops, doing wholesale. It's a great way to get your products out there into the world, but you might be a little bit confused as to how to go about it. How do you choose the right shops? How do you approach the store owner? We're going to go through that process in today's video, and I'm going to tell you exactly the process to follow in order to reach out and contact these shops and hopefully get your goods stocked in them. Now, I do have an entire detailed course called Wholesale Know-How about how to do everything when it comes to running a wholesale part of your business. I'll tell you more about that later on, but for now, if you'd like to find out more, the link to it is in the description below. Some of what we're going to cover today, I touch on some of the aspects that we cover in much more depth in the course. Okay, so step number one is to research the store. So you might have a list of stores in mind, you might have some in your local area. If you can, visit the store, get a feel for their branding, get a feel for their products. Is your stuff going to be a good fit for that particular shop? Is your branding in line with their branding? Is your target customer their target customer? And if possible, can you see that your products will fill a gap in their shop or a need that they have in their shop that will hopefully attract more sales and more customers through the door? Step number two is to prepare your pitch to the owner of the shop or the buyer for the shop. So you want to know what makes your product unique. Why is it a good fit for their shop? Why are their customers going to love your product? You need to be able to answer those questions. And secondly, you need to make sure that your pricing is on point before you do any of this and reach out to anyone, because the way wholesale pricing works is whatever you're selling your products at retail price, they're going to buy it for 50% of that or half of that cost. So if you sell your earrings on your website for $30, you're going to sell it wholesale to this shop for $15. And the reason for this is because they're going to be doing the selling for you. So that's what that extra amount of money is, to cover all the overheads that they have. And there's a lot when it comes to running a brick and mortar store. Now, we of course cover in detail how to work this pricing out in the Wholesale Know-How course. The third step is to create professional branded materials, especially if you're going to be visiting in person. You might want to create business cards or flyers, postcards that show your work off, something that you can give them that they can hold on to as a reminder of who you are. So you want to make sure this stuff is beautifully done, beautifully branded, has all of your important information on there, your email, your name, your website, your social medias, a picture of your work perhaps, so that it's very easy for them to remember who you are and to get in touch with you. You also want to have a wholesale catalog. Ideally, if you're going to be turning up and talking to this person in person, or even if you're not, even if you're going to be selling online, you need a wholesale catalog that they can buy from that has all of the information they need, such as what's the wholesale price, some photos of the item, is there an SKU that they can use, and so on. Again, we show you how to put a catalog together in the Wholesale Know-How course. One easy way of doing this, if you do have an online shop, is just to show them or give them a link to your shop and say that, obviously I'll be selling everything at wholesale price, which is half of what's the price on the website. What we want to do next is contact the business. So there's two general ways you can do this. One is to actually contact them by walking in the door and being there in person. The second is usually the preferred way, which is email. Now, if I was going to approach a shop in person, my strategy would be I would have my beautiful materials with me, my business card or my postcard or whatever it might be. And then I just strike up a conversation. Strike up a friendly conversation with whoever is at the register, whoever's manning the shop, and just ask them, how would one go about getting their work into the store? And then if they're like, oh, well, I'm the owner, then you can talk more about that. Or if they're like, oh, it's so-and-so who does that, ask for their contact details, ask for their email. You can leave them with your marketing material and then follow up with them via email. Sometimes, they might be excited and go, oh, I love XYZ. Maybe you're wearing your items or you have some samples with you, but don't just walk up to the counter and whip out samples and go, I'd like to sell in your shop. Here's what I make. Start off with a nice conversation. Talk about how much you love their shop, how much it vibes with you or whatever. Strike up a nice conversation first and then segue into the whole how would somebody sell in this shop question. Now, if you're contacting them via email, if it's the first email, you want to introduce yourself. Again, say something nice about their shop, talk about why you like it, why you think it's awesome, and then talk about why you think your products would be a good fit for their customers. Give them all your details, your email, your website, couple of photos attached to the email showing your work and your social media links, so they can basically stalk you and see if you're going to be a good fit for them or not. I cannot get past the amount of times people email me. Now, I'm not a shop, but a lot of people email me like, to ask if they can be on the podcast or whatever it might be, and they don't send me a link to their shop. Like, they're like, I have this business. Don't even name the business. Like, don't be that person. Make it as easy as possible for this potential stockist to find your work and investigate it and see if it's going to be a good fit for them. Okay, step 5 is the follow-up. So if you've been in person and you've gone in there in person, the follow-up might be an email going, hey, it was lovely to meet you today, blah, blah, blah. Love to hear more about you, and give them all your links again. Give them your website, give them your social medias. If you sent them an email, I would leave it about a week and then follow up with hey, just making sure you got my email. Please let me know if you have any further questions, and leave it at that. Be very friendly, be open, be happy to chat with them and answer any questions they might have, but don't be demanding. These people are very busy and they probably have a lot of people reaching out to them, and they're probably not going to get back to everybody. So they might only get back to you if it's a yes, they might not get back to you if it's a no. I mean, I get heaps of pitches, like here on YouTube, I get heaps of companies pitching me just like have their stuff on my channel, and I don't bother replying to the ones that are a no, because honestly, most of them are a ridiculous no, and like, you should have known better than to contact me in the first place. So I don't give them the courtesy, I guess, of wasting my time on replying to them. I only reply when it's a yes. Okay, step 6, if they say yes, hurrah, they're interested in your work. Now you want to discuss terms. You want to have a policies document in place. Again, in the course, we show you examples of this and tell you exactly what you need to have in there. But basically things like who's paying for shipping, what's your turnaround time, when can they expect the stuff, does that vary depending on how much they order, etc., etc. Who's liable for damages, who's liable for shipping problems, all that sort of stuff should be in there. Number 7 is to offer ongoing support to the shop owner, the stockist. Check in with them regularly, see how your stock's going, see if they need a refill of your stock. If you have any new products, tell them about it. If you have any promotions going, maybe tell them about that as well, so they can participate if they want to. Basically, keep in touch with them. Not too regularly, but somewhat regularly. And number 8 is to be persistent but respectful. So if you have an ongoing relationship with them, follow up with them regularly on that relationship. If they haven't replied to you, you've done that initial reach out, you've done that kind of 1 week follow up, I'd probably leave it about a month before following up again. And then if you don't hear from them, maybe leave it 6 months to a year before trying again. Because if they haven't replied after those first 3 emails, chances are you aren't the right fit for them at this point in time, or possibly ever. And that's it. Simple steps to follow in order to research, reach out to, and follow up with potential stockists for your handmade goods. Now, if you do want to do a really good job of setting up wholesale for your business, do come and check out the Wholesale Know-How course. It's a self-study course. You can start it literally in the next 5 minutes if you would like to. Head on over to the link in the description and you get a lesson a day for a month. And then there's actually a bonus section on trade shows if you're ever interested in selling at wholesale trade shows as well. We cover that in the course also. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on how to have a thriving and profitable handmade business. I'll leave you here with another video on wholesaling, since that seems to be what you're interested in right now. So you can check that one out next. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.